Hey fans, the sun is shining, summer is coming, and for the first time in 3 weeks, we've got a full slate of MLS action this weekend, and that means it's time for Last Call. Jonah Friedman here with armchair analyst Matt Doyle. And Matt, let's start counting down the top 5 storylines of an action-packed MLS weekend. We'll start in reverse on Sunday. Chicago hosting the New York Red Bulls.
The story of who's not going to be there for New York. Thierry Henry, Rafa Marquez, probably Joel Lindper as well. A bunch of the internationals got nicked up. But the Red Bulls have done it before. They had that 5-game winning streak without Henry, without Marquez. Replacing Lindper will not be easy, but they have Jan Gunnar Sole. Dane Richards back, healthy, probably ready to go. And Kenny Cooper, probably the league MVP at this point. He's done it all by himself at times this year, and he'll need to do it again against a Fire team that has not looked great with 2 talented youngsters, Jaleel Anibaba and Austin Berry in the center of defense. Both individually talented, but not really on the same page. It's going to be a rough one for Chicago, but the good news is they rarely lose to New York in Bridgeview. In fact, the Red Bulls have never beaten Chicago in Chicago. The last time it happened, they were the Metro Stars.
Nice, and that one is on Sunday at 5 p.m. It's on NBC Sports Network, and there is a live chat on MLSsoccer.com.
And Saturday will be a tale of 2 4-3-3s in Kansas City as Sporting host Toronto.
But will it be a 4-3-3 from Toronto? We don't know. This is going to be the first game under Paul Mariner now that Aaron Vinter is gone. And of course, we know that Vinter was the man who brought 4-3-3 in. Is Mariner a 4-3-3 guy? We don't know. We don't know if he's a 4-4-2 guy. We don't know if he's a 4-5-1 guy. It's a big question mark, and Mariner has kept it under wraps all week at training, obviously. And Sporting are keenly aware of this. Peter Vermes says we don't know what we're going to get from this Toronto side. And they're not necessarily the same team that started the season 0-9-0. They've got the 1 win under their belt. They could be ready for a rebound. Sporting, they've got some question marks. Kai Kamara is still away on international duty. Bobby Convey is still out to injury. Matt Beasler is still out into injury. However, they've still got the win under their belt 3 weeks ago against San Jose. That was the last game before the international break. So hopefully they've got momentum on their side, but this is going to be a good one.
And that one will be Saturday at 8:30 p.m. on MLS Live.
Number 3, the lone matchup in the Texas Derby this year, and El Capitan is at stake. It's Houston hosting Dallas at BBVA Compass.
And this is a game that I think is really a must-win for the Dynamo. They need to start getting momentum. They need to start making their games in hand, and those home games count. It helps that they'll get Jeff Cameron back, Jermaine Taylor back, Javon Watson back. They won't have to play with that makeshift back line that was shredded last week against Vancouver. They also have Will Bruin, who's looked very good. I'm expecting a breakout game from him at some point. Dallas, on the other hand, probably going to be shorthanded. Blas Perez was stretchered off the field against Cuba last week. We're hearing he probably isn't going to go. Shellis says it's 50-50, but something less than that is what our people in Dallas say. The good news for Dallas is that talented youngster Brian Leyva is expected to get the start in central attacking midfield. Maybe he could give them a little offensive punch that they've been lacking this year.
And the winner keeps that cannon. That is on Saturday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. It's on ESPN2. We'll have a live chat on MLSsoccer.com.
Number 2 on our list, a big one, as the John Hackworth era gets started in Philadelphia as the Union host DC United.
Yeah, and these are 2 teams that know each other very well. Just a couple weeks ago, Philly actually knocked DC out of the U.S. Open Cup, and that did not sit well with Ben Olsen. He rallied the troops together and said, that is not acceptable. I want more out of you guys. Luckily for DC, they've got pretty much everybody back. Dero coming back from international duty, Dejan Jakovic coming back from international duty. All these guys who have been injured the last couple weeks, they've got a healthy team. That full attacking core is ready to go. But once again, another team we're not going to know what we're going to see out of them. John Hackworth says he's not going to change things up that much in Philly, but we'll see if they're going to be motivated and ready to go in this one. And you start to wonder who's going to be the focal point of this team. You got to think at some point Freddie Adu has to step up and say, I'm the leader of this team now. Peter Novak is gone. It's got to fall on somebody.
And that one is Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern on Galavision.
Number 1 on this list, they're getting fired up in Quebec for the reopening of Stade Saputo, the Montreal Impact hosting the Seattle Sounders.
Yeah, a beautiful renovated stadium there, another jewel in the MLS crown. I think it's going to be a great crowd, a great atmosphere. Certainly the Montreal fans have done a good job of bringing it this year so far. In their own stadium now, I'm expecting a great day. Whether it's a great day for the players on the field, we'll have to see. But so far, Seattle have handled the lesser teams in the league pretty well. They find a way to get it done. They don't give up cheap goals. And for a Montreal team that's really struggled to score from the run of play, it's hard to see them where they'll be breaking Seattle down. That said, the Sounders are without Ozzie Alonso, which means they won't be winning as many second balls in midfield. Alonso's still serving a suspension. So if they could find some possession through that central midfield trio of Felipe Martins, Patrice Bernier, Colin Warner, you could see some quick counters, you could see some use of the wings, and you could see maybe a couple goals from the run of play from the impact.
And no doubt one Marco Di Vaio is going to be sitting in the stands watching this one very closely. That is on Saturday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. It is on TSN2 and RDS in Canada. It'll be on MLS Live in the U.S. That'll do it for us. Make sure you check back all weekend for recaps and reactions from all these games. All the action. MLS is back, baby. We'll check back with you on Monday.